Hey, I'm Todd Huber, and we're here at the Skateboarding Hall of Fame.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about this first board right here?
Number one, it's a Dogtown Bigfoot, which was like the biggest, fattest board back in 1978. Number two, it had the classic setup where you had one connection truck on the back, and your buddy had one on the back of his, because you didn't really need it on the front, because the connection was designed so you wouldn't hang up. Number three is a fisherman was fishing off the Ventura Pier and pulled this out of the water. And so it's got barnacles, it's all covered in salt, like even tastes like salt. So it was at least a decade underwater. If you follow us, or if you're a fan of all of us, of the Hall of Fame, you know that I'm really into the boards that were made from roller skates. And the reason I chose this one is because it's just, you can tell it's a roller skate, the front and the back. And two, the fact that they bent the nails to hold it. I just like this one. It just feels so homemade, you know, like just hammer it on and skate. Like when I first started collecting, it was like the holy grail to get the Humco, because nobody wanted to sell them. They were so unique with this spring-loaded truck. You couldn't adjust it. Anyway, these came in three colors: red, blue, and natural wood. They're made in San Diego, but the Humco Surfer, it's got a girl and a guy surfing, and totally fun. It just shows they didn't know anything about surfing either, because you can just tell by the stance, like that's not how you would stand surfing. This is before Powell Peralta. This is just a Powell Corporation, Santa Barbara, California. You may know Powell started with the Bones wheels, but then George Powell started making quick tails, which this is a quick tail because it has a tail, and they made slalom boards that were called Quicksilvers. This has a Quicksilver sticker on it, but that just came after. But what's cool about this board is it was the personal board of Harvey Hawks. And if you know who Harvey Hawks is, he was a Badland legend. If you're in your 50s, you surely remember the Bay City Rollers. I think they were Scottish, because they wore like this Scottish print. And they were just goofy guys, you know. They had the funny haircuts of the 70s. And this was from Arista Records, 1976. This was I'm assuming, I don't even know. It must have been a promotional item. This one's brand new. I don't know who Arista Records would have sent this to. Maybe a disc jockey or something to butter him up to play the music. So this was one of John Comer's prosthetic limbs, and he specifically made this to look like a pirate. I don't know if you ever saw, there was a photographer named Eric Olson, and they were trying to come up with a cover shot for him dressed as a pirate with a peg leg. And that's when I got this. And this was before he painted it to look like a pirate. It was just his backup leg. But you watch John Comer skate, if he had long pants on, you could never know the dude had one leg. And that, to me, is just like kick ass. It's not only is this a Lonnie Toft Sims 8-wheeler, like a production board that anybody could buy, but what was cool about this particular board was it used to be owned by Bill Danforth. The Nomad from Detroit used to ride for Alva. And so at some point I posted this up, or maybe when I first got it, sharing it with all the people that like our social media, and he'd come, dude, how'd you get my old 8-wheeler? And instantly I was like, oh dude, you're not getting it back. You know what I mean? Like, but at one point it was his. Okay, so this is called the Tuck-in Roller, and it's hard to read, but it actually says Tuck-in Roller, T-U-K, and these are special because they're padded, like literally like, foam and whatever, vinyl or whatever, Naga hide. And this is the green one, but it was called, I think, Gang Green. They had Go Granny Gold. They had all funny names. If you've never seen one of these before and you're collecting boards, you're on a mission. You got to get this. So this board, it's a little newer than all these other ones, and I saved it because it was Torrey Pudwell's first board. And I don't mean like his first pro model or first board sponsored. I mean his first board, like the first board. I think he messed around with his brother's like Nash board before, but his first real board was this Devilman Everslick World Industries. And he signed it in March 8th of 1998. You can see where he signed it. I'm glad I saved it. I think that shows that I'm a true collector. Okay, this is really unique because this is like the whole thing's solid aluminum. It's from the Soviet Union. Very unique, has a double kick. It says something, my friend said it says something like rolling in the Russian language, I guess. And my friend told me that these are made in the 80s, which blew my mind to think that something this primitive would have been made so far after skateboarding got better. I bet it weighs 15 pounds. what's unique about this, and it's super hard to see, is it's made by Sears. And it says Sears, and it's called the Wipeout fiberglass, and it's heavy. I wanted to hold it up to the light because it's a trip. Like, it's wood in the middle and then fiberglass on the outside, and this is unique because Sears had their own wheel. These are Super Surfers, but what happens? You can see the bearings fell out of this wheel, and that's probably why it survived. Because once the bearings would fall out, it would make the board not usable, and so it just got put away. So the artist's name is Bill Barminski, and he makes everything out of cardboard. And I have the actual board with the same stickers on it, the same exact stickers that actually came from Harvey Hawks, the same guy that came the other one, which so I had the Badland sticker. And without knowing it, he made this out of cardboard. And we have the real board that matches up with this. Someday I'll have them together on our display. Yeah, those are just really random. So, you can't call these my favorites, although I love every one of them. Just people ask me, what's your favorite? And usually the answer I say is whichever one I just got. I like all the weird ones.